Okay, hello. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. So, welcome to the Whizz online maths extravaganza. And it's great to have you here. You're all wonderful people. I really mean that, because the reason you're here is because you've all worked so hard over the summer. I'm sure you've had a great holiday, but we know that as well as that, you've been working hard on Maths-Whizz. Many of you were showing us some incredible work in some of the resource packs and the activities that we shared with you. And so we wanted to celebrate your hard work. And really, there's only one way that we know how to celebrate at Whizz, and that's by sharing with you some of the most fun maths activities that we know of. So I'm Dr. Junaid. I'll be running this session with my colleague Fiona. Fiona, do you want to quickly say hello?
Yep, hi, well done, everyone.
And Fiona will be leading one of the activities a little later. We also have Eileen with us. How are you, Eileen?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the extravaganza. Have fun.
And Eileen, stay tuned, because we're going to get you involved in the last activity. So we have 3 different activities. They're very different. So hopefully there's something for everyone. They'll each take around 15 or 20 minutes. And look, we're loving what we're seeing in the chat. Please do continue to share your ideas. We really want to hear from you, and we're monitoring that all the way through. So we're going to start with this puzzle. Lots of answers already. So there's 6 people at a party. Remember those times when we used to have parties? And imagine that they all shook hands, or they want to do it in a socially distanced way. Maybe they do the elbow bumps. But everyone's polite, so they all greet each other. And the question is, now, how many handshakes or elbow bumps are there altogether? Now, I've been looking at the chat, lots of different answers, as low as 6, as high as 36. And 36 seems to be the popular choice. Maybe it is. You know, there's 6 people. Maybe they each shake hands with 6 people. 6 times 6 is 36. Maybe. Let's try to visualize this problem, and this will lead into our first main activity. And some of you I can see are saying 12, and we've had all kinds of answers. Well, here's one way to visualize it. So I'm going to give these people names, and I've not been very creative. I've just called them by the letters of the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F. So imagine you're person A. Now, there's 5 other people at the party. There's person B, C, D, E, F. 5 other people that you need to go and elbow bump. And so you are going to end up elbow bumping 5 people. Okay, and then you're done. And then we move on to the next person, person B. Well, they also need to elbow bump 5 people, but they've already greeted you. So we don't count that one again. We only need to count it once. So they've now got 4 other people, 4 new greetings that they need to make. And then we carry on. The next person, person C, well, they've already said hello. They've already elbow bumped person A and person B. So they've only got 3 new greetings. And you can kind of see a pattern here, because then person D only has 2 new people to say hello to. Person E has only 1 person. And person F by that point has actually said hello to everyone. And so there's actually nothing left for person F to do. And so the total number of greetings, if we add all these together, 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 15. And I can see some of you are saying 30, and it's very close, a lot closer than you might think, because if you think that every person is going to shake or 5 hands or elbow bump 5 people, well, 6 times 5 is 30. But remember, each elbow bump involves 2 people, so you need to make sure you don't double count. So once you get to 30, you just divide by 2. Look, there's lots of ways of solving this puzzle, but the answer is 15. And there's lots of ways of visualizing it. And I'm going to show you one more way, because there's a nice game that comes from this puzzle. Okay, and what I've done is I've drawn a hexagon, and I've labeled the 6 points on a hexagon. The fancy name for that is vertices. So I've called them A, B, C, D, E, F. And I've joined a line between every pair of points. So you can think of each of those points as one of those 6 people at the party. And you can think of all of each of those lines as one of those elbow bumps. And so we know now there's 15 of those lines altogether. And you can go ahead and count them, and there's 15. And now we're going to turn this into a game. So it's a 2-player game. So Fiona, fancy playing a game?
Yeah, I'll join you.
Excellent. Glad you might regret it after I tell you how it works, but no, it's all good. So 2-player game. We're going to take it in turns to draw lines. Okay, we can draw over any of these 15 lines as long as it joins 2 points. And we're going to use different colors. I'll use red, you'll use blue, unless you have a different color you'd like to use. And here's how it works. The first person to make a triangle with their own colors loses.
Oh, loses.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say win then.
Yeah, because in most games, you have to make something to win. When you're playing noughts and crosses, you make 3 in a row and you win. When you do connect 4, you have to make 4 in a row and you win. Well, here, you're trying to do the opposite. You're trying to avoid making a triangle.
Okay.
That probably sounds easy, but let's go ahead and play. So I'm going to bring up the rules on the screen. And actually, I just want everyone to just kind of take in those rules, take a second or two, think about what you would do if you were playing this game, because the first choice we have to make is who goes first. And if you want to come up with a winning strategy, and we're mathematicians, so we always want to come up with a winning strategy, the first thing to figure out is it better to go first or second? And Fiona, I think we have a poll, if you can bring that up. And so everyone should see a question pop up in just a second. And it's going to ask you, do you think it's better to go first or second in this game? If you're not entirely sure, don't overthink it. Just have your best guess, and we'll see what the most popular choice is. So just to recap the rules, we're going to take it in turns to draw over one of these lines. And eventually these lines will pop up. And one of us, if one of us ends up making a triangle with our own colors, the same 3 colors, then we lose. So Fiona and I, in a moment, we're going to try to avoid making triangles. Are we getting some votes in, Fiona?
Votes are all coming in. We've got 23 votes so far. So there's quite a few of you that haven't voted. So come on.
Yeah, give you another few seconds, and then Fiona's going to announce the results. Let the tension build.
Okay, yeah. It's quite close. It's quite close.
Well, don't leave us
Right.
in suspense.
Oh my gosh, it's getting closer. Right, shall I reveal?
Please do.
Do you want me to share the results?
Yeah, I think if you share them, we can all see the results.
Okay, so I'm going to end the poll now. There. So we've got 53% think that it's better to go first.
Right.
And 47 think it's better to go second.
So an even split. And maybe
Very
even better. Maybe it's an advantage either way. Let's see how your opinion might change as you see this game actually play out. So Fiona, it's fine. There's no hiding from it. We've got to crack on and
Okay.
the game. Now, you might be influenced by the poll. You might want to use the wisdom of our students, because you get to decide whether you go first or second.
Well, I'm gonna go with the majority. I know it was a small majority, but I'm gonna go first if that's all right.
You definitely can go first. So, well done, students. You've all managed to persuade Fiona that it's worth going first. See a couple of you asking about the question. The poll's now finished. We will have another question coming up shortly. But Fiona, you're going to go first. So you want to go red or blue?
I'll go red. Do you want me to draw the line, or are you going to draw it for me?
I think, yeah, I'll do it, and just tell me which 2 points you want.
Okay, I'm going to go right down the centre from A to D.
From A to D. So hopefully you'll all see that. Now I've got to try my best to draw on a straight line, which is not as easy as you might think, but that's your move. Happy with that?
Yeah.
All right. So now it's my go. I'm going to choose a different color. I'll go blue, and I'm just going to go. I'll just go across. So I'm going to go from F to B.
Okay. So I've got
now,
to keep in mind for myself.
Everyone watching, as we play the game, really stay alert. The moment you think you see that one of us has made a full triangle with our own colors, please let us know in the chat, because it means the game is over and that person has lost. So no pressure, Fiona, but on you go.
Okay, right. I'm going to keep away from lines because it scares me. I might make a triangle without realizing it. So I'm going to go from E to C.
E to C. So you're trying to kind of avoid the same vertices as before. That seems to make sense. I might do some. Now, I don't want to do AE because you've got a chance of making a triangle there. So I want to leave that one for you. That's nice of me.
Okay.
What shall I do? I guess I'll go DC. I just want to keep my lines as far apart from each other as possible.
Oh, you've made a triangle.
I have made a triangle, but they're not all my own color. So I'm okay. So you only lose when... so actually, there's two things to say. Firstly, the triangle has to be a full triangle that joins 3 points. So it is true that I've made a smaller triangle here, but they don't count. You can play another version where they do, and that'll be even harder. But the other thing is, even if that was a full triangle, two of the sides are red and one is blue. So you only lose when all three colors are your own color. All three sides are your own color.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go F to E.
F to E. I think there's someone in the chat saying you might try F to A, but let's do F to E.
Oh gosh, yes. Come on, help me in the chat, please. Come on, I want to win, so I need some help, please. I'm looking
Maybe
at.
They were telling me to go F to A. All right. I'm open to suggestions, everyone. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave F to C open because I really want Fiona to take that one, because then she gets the full triangle. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go A down to C. I'm going to go diagonal.
Right, I've got people saying
I have made a full triangle. Can you see that? A, C, D.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I'm okay because they're not all my own color.
Right, okay. So I've got people saying they're in the red team, and they're telling me, oh, I hope they're not trying to make me make some wrong moves. They're
Good
telling
on
me
you, Chinmay. Chinmay decides that they're in the blue team. Chinmay's a good actor.
I'm going to go A to B. Oh, this is scary.
A to B. Okay.
Whew.
Yeah, I'm starting to get nervous as well. That the more you play this game, the more it feels like you're treading on eggshells. So let's see. Someone's saying E to B. E to B. Yeah, that's a good shout. I like E to B.
Okay, come on, red team, help me out. What am I going to do?
Again, I made a triangle, but they're not all my own color, so I'm happy with that.
Ah, right. Okay, I like that. I'm going to go because it's not all going to be my own color. Right. The suggestion is. Oh, A to E. Yeah,
that's a good shout. I see someone's put red team and then put the suggestion. So do tell us whether you think red should go there or blue. So what was that, Fiona?
A to E.
A to E. A to E. Oof. Are you sure you're not making a triangle there?
I don't know. Am I? No.
I think you're making a couple of triangles there.
Am I?
Yeah. A, C, E is a triangle, but one of them is mine. So you're okay. And actually, ACE is a special type of. I think it's an equilateral triangle. It looks like one anyway. The other one is ABE, which again has one side which is blue. So again, you're okay for now. Now I need to try to trap Fiona. We are running out of choices. I think how many moves have we had? I think we've had 9 moves, so that means 6 to go at most. Let's see. I'm going to go B to C, I think.
Okay. Oh, right.
I really want everyone to be attentive because I think we're getting to a point where it feels like it's very hard to avoid the triangle. So see if anyone can spot it when it happens. But I think I'm okay there. I think I'm okay.
Right. I know to avoid ED. Avoid that one. So... also F and C. Oh my gosh, this is getting so tricky. What are you guys saying? Come on, I need some help.
Someone's saying F and C. I think they want you to lose.
Oh, they do, don't they? B, hang on.
No, they're saying FC for blue.
Oh, well, is that a good? No, I can't do BD either, because that makes, no.
It's quite interesting. F to C is a problem for both of us. That's the one, but we can't avoid it forever, right? So.
Do you know what? I think I've lost. If I go from E to D.
Anyone suggest a move for Fiona? Because she reckons they all end up in a triangle.
I think they do. Oh, hang on. Does that one?
A to F is a problem. I thought I found one.
F to D. What does that do?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think you're going to be okay.
F to D.
F to D.
Oh, I'd lost them.
So you've actually made quite a few triangles there, but they're smaller triangles. They don't count.
Okay, right.
You're okay. You haven't yet made a triangle with 3 points. Right, Megan, now I need to avoid FC. Any ideas for blue? E to D, someone says. Let's check that out. E to D. E to D looks good because there's lots of red lines coming out of point E. So I think it means I'm okay. I'll go for E to D. I think that's okay.
Okay, now I really do
I think I've made a rhombus with it. I've actually made a rhombus with B, C, D, and E. Or no, is it a trapezium? I think
trapezium,
it's a trapezium.
yeah.
All kinds of shapes popping up, but no triangle, thankfully.
Right, now, if I go B...
They're telling you to go F to C, Fiona.
Oh, are they? Yeah, but I don't know if they're on my team. You know what?
I'm not planted them.
They're not putting red team in the front, so I'm not being tricked by that. I think if I go from B to D, I make a triangle because A, D, B.
Yeah. So if you did, not the best I've ever drawn, but yeah, that would give you A to D. So we're not going to do that.
Right, and I also think if I do F to C, then if I go back to E, I've got another triangle, so it's not safe to go there.
That's right.
Oh dear, this isn't looking hopeful, is it? If I go F to A, D, it's another triangle.
F, A, D.
Oh, sorry, red team, I've lost.
Choose your method. If we were playing chess, I think right about now I'd be saying checkmate.
Yeah. Okay. Well done, Junaid.
Thank you. So let's just recap what happened. Fiona decided to go first, and it did feel like I had an advantage. It felt like I had more options than you, and I'm not sure it's necessarily because I played any better. But when you go first, you've got more lines on the board, so you've got more ways of making a triangle when you go first. So that suggests it might be an advantage to actually go second. I think 47% who said second.
Right.
So, yeah, I think they were probably onto something. Now, here's the great thing about these games is that they generate all kinds of questions. And there's one more question we want to ask you. And the question, if you can bring it's up on the poll, Fiona, the question we're going to ask you is it possible for this game to ever end in a draw? And I'm going to say that's not an easy question. There's no obvious answer. So we really want to know kind of what your gut tells you. What's your sense? Having now seen this game play out once, you could see that it was over before the end. Fiona couldn't avoid a triangle. But let's say we tried our best to make it end in a draw. Do you think that's possible? Yes or no? And it'll be interesting to see the split.
You know what? It's an even split again.
Well, it's not, as I said, it's not the easiest question. All we know so far is that we've played once, and by the time we got to like 10 or 11 moves, it just looked really, really hard to avoid. Even I was finding, I think if I had to make one more move, I'd be in trouble. I don't think I could avoid a triangle if I had to go next. But maybe there is a clever way of playing this game so that neither player ends up drawing a triangle. Maybe.
Well, let me share the results with you.
Yeah, the results.
Okay, so I'm ending the poll now. Look at that, 50-50.
50-50. That's reasonable. It's not, the answer isn't obvious, and we're not actually going to give it to you. So we're going to share a puzzle sheet with you all for all of these activities. And that's the question that I want you all to take away with you. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things. Firstly, if we shrunk the game down and played it on a smaller shape, a pentagon, instead of a hexagon, then that question would be very easy to answer. So here is a game of Sim. This game is called Sim. And this time there's 5 points. And you can see that one player has gone on the outside and the other player has gone on the inside. And neither one has made a full triangle. It looks like there's lots of small triangles, but there's no big triangle that joins 3 points with the same color. So in the small version with the pentagon, a draw is definitely possible. You can see it right there. With the larger version, so the full hexagon, I'm not going to tell you right now. But here's the thing. There's one of two things that's going to happen. Either a draw is possible, and if you believe that, go ahead and find a way to make the game end in a draw. If you believe a draw is impossible, then you have to make an argument as to why it's not possible. You have to think about what might make it impossible. And it may take you ages if you're just going to check through all the possible combinations of the game. There are so many. So there's probably going to have to be some kind of clever argument you come up with. So again, if you think it's possible, go ahead and do your 15 moves and show that it can end in a draw. If you think it's impossible, find a clever argument. That's something we want you to go away and think about. And in the meantime, you can play this game and just have some fun with it. You can try playing it with more points. Play it on a heptagon, an octagon. There's nothing stopping you. And actually, as you get to larger shapes, it becomes interesting to play with 3 people where you've got 3 different colors. So this is just a basic version of the game. So thank you all for getting involved there. We're going to move on to our next activity. So over to you, Fiona. You've got something very different to show us.
I have. Now, how many of you have done mazes before? Let me know in the chat. Have you done a maze? Now, we're going to have a look at some mazes now. I've been doing a bit of research, and apparently mazes go back thousands of years. And the word maze in the 13th century, so a very long time ago, actually denoted, or sort of its meaning was maybe going a bit delirious, delirium, meaning actually you're very puzzled because you can't work out which way to go. And I've always had a rule as a child, when I used to go and do a maze, I don't know if you did this, Junaid, sometimes you can go to these mazes where there are either walls or hedges.
Oh, yeah.
And you can actually walk through.
I got stuck in one.
Sorry?
Yeah, my wife and I
stuck.
up in the north of England a few years ago. And we thought, well, we'll get out of this and we'll have a nice dinner after. And we had to miss dinner because not only did we get stuck, but it became dark. So you can imagine how that was. And then we just shouted a few times, and very, very traumatic experience.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to bring that up.
I could see it on the Jamboard. I'm glad you're not taking us there.
But I don't know, did you used to follow a rule? Maybe that's why you got lost.
So my wife's not a mathematician, and so we had 2 very different approaches. And I have to admit that I was probably the one that was guiding us along, and that probably explains why we got stuck, because I was overthinking it, trying to come up with clever algorithms, and quite often you've got to put that stuff to one side and just use your common sense, right? That's what we learned.
Well, what we always had, the rule as a family, and it worked for most mazes, is the right hand rule.
The right hand rule, okay.
Right hand rule. So what you do is with your right hand, you touch the wall or the hedge, and you're not allowed to take your hand off, okay? You just have to keep touching it all the way around.
Right.
And that normally got us to the exit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I'd known that back then. Maybe we'll get
if you look at the maze, let me get the laser now. If you look at the maze in front of you now, if I did that as a rule, this is my right hand touching all the way round. Can you see?
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of a lag.
So
there we are.
Oh, it's starting now. Gosh, I finished it. So there we are.
Right. So hopefully you can all see a tiny Fiona just floating around the screen.
Yeah. So that's the rule I used to follow. So when I saw this maze, I got really excited because I thought, right, that's the rule I'm going to follow. But it's got some different rules here. So I want you to help me today. It's called the no left turn maze. Okay. So when we're actually doing this, we're not allowed to make any left turns. So what you might want to do whilst you're watching this is maybe do it with your finger, or if you want to give me some instructions in the chat, you can do that. I'll leave it up to you. So I'm going to find a pen and we'll start to draw. I'm going to do red, I think, because that will show up. And
let's team is saying they want to see blue. They've got their loyalties.
I'm just sticking with red.
But you're in control, Fiona, so you can.
Right, so I'm going to put a dot now. That's a bit of a lag as well. See if you can see me. So I'm going to start my journey through the maze. There we go.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got to the first junction, and well, I've got 2 choices, I guess, because I can't turn left. So I can either just carry on straight upwards, or I can turn right. Now, I'm thinking if I go straight up, if you follow it with your finger straight up, and I turn right, I'm going to end up coming back all the way to where I am. Can you follow that? I won't do it because otherwise everything would be too much of a lag. But, well, I'll try and draw it. So if I...
Yeah, go ahead. And while we're waiting for it to pop up, maybe we can just try tracing things. So you're saying go up, all the way up, as far up as we can.
Yeah, so go up as far as I can, and then I have to turn right, right. And I've actually... Hopefully it will come up in a sec. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. It's coming. So then you turn right.
Well, I've actually come all the way back to the beginning.
Ah.
So that's a bit of a pointless move. So I'm going to get rid of that. So instead, I'm going to turn right here. But what happens then?
But then you'd have to turn left.
Oh, no. So that's not a pointless move, is it?
Because what direction are you facing?
Yeah, no, you're right. Now I've got to turn left. Yeah. Okay, so
you definitely can't go this way because then you're stuck. You can't go left, and there's no.
Yeah.
Right. But do that thing when you went all the way around again, because.
Yeah, I'm now realizing that was the right way. So there, and then go all the way down. Right, so I'm going to carry on straight to there. So
and what you're doing isn't, I guess it's a bit of a U-turn, but I think what it means when it says no U-turns is like on the spot. You can't just turn around on the spot because then it's just too easy. So you kind of have done a U-turn, but it's a big U-turn, and you're constantly moving. You're not ever rotating on the spot, so I think you're okay.
Okay, so I've got to this junction here now. So if I turn right here, I'm going to end up just going around that square, aren't I?
And that really will be like you're just going around in circles, because you'll come back and you're still facing the same way.
I've got people saying it's impossible in the chat.
It looks impossible. I have to say, I'm starting to agree with them.
Well, that's not helping me now, is it? So which way should I go? Go straight. Right. Do you know what? Someone says go straight. I'm going to believe in them and go straight. So, right, I've gone straight. Now, look, I can see the goal, but I can't get there, can I?
It's within touching distance, but you can't turn left.
It is. Right, so, okay, so I'm going to turn right. Now, do I turn right down there? What do people think? People are saying no. No, up. Okay, right. I'm going to follow what everyone's saying. So, okay.
Some people are saying go down, but if you go down now, that's like doing a U-turn.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I've gone up to the next junction. What are people saying now? Oh, I'm still. Oh, up.
Keep going up.
Oh, someone says right.
Someone's saying turn right, but the majority are saying go up.
Go up. Okay, right. Let's go. So I'm going to go up to this junction here. Right, what am I doing? Am I turning or carrying on up? Oh, I've got a right. What do people think? Come on, help me out. Right. Oh, it's coming through. Oh, look, right. Majority's right, so I'm going to go right. So I'm going to go to here. What do I do now? Do I turn right here? Or do I go forward? Oh, I've got lots of people telling me to turn right here.
Okay. See what happens when you do that.
Okay, so let's turn right. That's a left turn then, isn't it? Yeah. Right, okay. So let's go on to the next. This is a bit of trial and error, isn't it, really? You just keep going until you
crack it.
Right, okay. So do I turn right here or do I go straight on?
It feels like now you're kind of back to where you were before.
It does. What do people think? Oh, I can't go up. So what do people up? Go down, left, right would be helpful. Down. Right, okay, so I'm gonna go down. I can't. So let me get you so you catch up with me. I can't.
Oh, right, because before you went up this, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I can't turn here because that will be, oh, it's a good turn. That's a right turn, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
I could. So do I turn right here or do I go, I know it looks left. It's really confusing, isn't it? Because on the screen it looks like left, but you've got to imagine me facing the right direction. Go straight. Someone says go straight. Do you know, I'm going to trust that person. Who said go straight? Oh, yeah, right, okay. So go straight. So I'm going down to this junction here. Oh, now I'm getting a lot of people say right. Okay. So I'm going to go right. I can't turn there because that's going to be left. So I'm going to go here. You'll catch up with me in a sec. Okay, what do I do here? Do I turn right? Right, up, right. Okay, I'm going to go do that then. What do I do now? People are saying continue up. Right, okay, I like all this help. This is really good.
A couple of rights there. But I think if you went right there, you would have ended up in a dead end. So.
Okay, so what do I do now? I can't turn. So I need to go right. And once again, I'm going to go right. I'm going to go past this. I'm going to go to here. Let me see so you can catch up. Now, if I'd have carried on, I'd gone around another square, so that was pointless. So I carried straight on. Okay, now if I turn right here, I'm going to do exactly the same again, aren't I?
You'll be back to where you were before.
Yeah. So I'm going to go forward again, just so you can see me. And I've got no choice. I've got to turn right. I've got to turn right. Do you know what? I can see now. Once you see what and catch up with me, I can see the home straight. All the way down.
Go on, finish with a flourish.
Yeah, go.
Oh, that's really cool. So it was possible, even though it looked impossible.
Yeah, it was possible. I wonder if there's any strategies anyone can think about that might have helped. Because I just kept doing trial and error, really, trying a...
Yeah, I mean, trial and error is okay, but trial and error is what we were doing when we got lost in that maze, and I can tell you it doesn't always work. So yeah, anything else we might...
The others. I'm getting congratulations to getting to the end. Not like you getting stuck.
It's
oh, someone says we have turned left. I don't think we have.
I think you're okay. So certainly that last turn was, because I'm just looking at my screen, you were there, and then it was a right. When you came down, that was definitely a right turn.
Yeah. It does get confusing because, you've got to imagine that you're facing that direction, don't you? Not just as you're looking at the maze. So the lefts and rights can get quite confusing. Okay. I had a thought though. Do you think it would work if I started backwards, so started at the end to work my way around? Would that help me out at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering about that because, I mean, early on, I didn't have a clue. I was just following you and it just felt like you were going to end up in dead ends. But then I thought, if this is possible, there must be a way out. But where are you going to come from? And I just had a sneaky suspicion that top left corner, maybe I can point to it, that top left corner was really going to come in. But it wasn't easy to get there. Like, to get to that top left corner, you had to really go round and about. And the reason I thought that was going to come in is because I figured you're going to have to come down as your last move. There's no other way to get to the exit. But if you're going to come down, you're not going to come like from there, because that would be a left turn, or there or there. So you'd have to be coming from this corner over here. And so in my mind, I was thinking, how on earth are you going to get to that corner? But I couldn't figure that out, but then you did it.
Some of it is looking ahead as well, isn't it? Just trying to see what the other possibilities might be. But yeah, great. Have we got time for another one?
I think we do, yeah. We've got another few minutes before we move on.
Okay.
This one looks completely different, Fiona.
Oh, dearie me. So, are you ready? For this one, right, we enter the maze. Let me get the laser on, although I know it's going to be... There we go, here. So we enter the maze here. And obviously you can see where the goal is, where the end is. But there are lots of dots, coloured dots on the maze, and we have to pass them in a certain order. So it has to be red, blue, all the time. So this is tricky because you've got to remember what you've passed, don't you? But right, should we give it another go? Okay, so I've got somebody already helping me. I'm going to go, I'm going to go yellow this time so we don't get our reds muddled. Right, so here we go. So it started with red. Now I can see 2 blues. Which blue do you think I should go for?
And you're allowed to go left and right, but you're still not allowed to turn on the spot. That's the only...
Oh, is it? Right, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, everyone's telling me up. Right, okay, I've gone up. You're absolutely right, because actually, if I'd have gone the other way, I would have just been doing a bit of extra for no reason, wouldn't I?
Unless you went further along.
Oh, of course, there's another red. We said about looking ahead. Yeah, okay. Right, so where do I go now? I've got no choice, but I've got to go. That's the only red that I can see. So I've just drawn that so you can see there.
And now you have to carry on straight. You can't turn back on your
No, so straight. Okay. Now I get to, let me draw it to here. Now I've got 2 reds. Which red do I go for? People are saying straight. Do I go straight to that red?
I think they're saying go straight down. One person is saying turn, everyone else saying go straight down.
Oh, straight down. Sorry. Right, there we are. Yeah.
What 1 or 2 people are saying turn, but the
Okay.
majority are saying down.
You're down. Right, so I have to go blue. So this is my only red choice. Ooh, right, okay.
Is it though, Fiona? Because
Oh,
I can see another red. You can go on. It's a bit further away, but couldn't you go to that one as well?
I see. Oh, so what do people want me to do? Let me get rid of that. So do you want me to do what I did and turn and do the red here, or do you want me to go on to find the other red? But Junaid, won't I then be going back round in a big circle?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this one. So red. Now, I can see 2 blue choices ahead. Let me get to that point and then decide which way I go. Right, help me out. What do I do now? Oh, everyone's saying... Do you know what? I wonder if they're going to try and get me stuck here. So if I do what you're all saying and go blue, I'm then going to have to go all the way back to there. Let me just draw it on so you can see. And I'm back where I was.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could turn left here and then, rather than going up where you went before, go the other way.
Ah.
But I don't know which red you're going to go through next.
Okay, let's have a go.
You're allowed to go through the same point twice. I don't think so.
Oh, you're not?
I'm not sure, actually.
Oh.
I would think not. I think it'd be harder if you're not, and I think probably not.
Okay. Well, I don't know where to go then. What do I do?
Well, it's on the puzzle sheet, isn't it? So we can definitely leave it to the students to go.
Leave it? Okay.
Out. That's our answer to everything. But maybe, you know what you were saying in the last maze about working backwards from the end?
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth thinking about that here as well, because you're going to finish on blue. And that means you've got to get to there from a red. So then you got to think, well, which red am I going to get to, go from to get to the blue? And there's only 2 options. And so maybe you can try them both and see if you can work your way back to the start. I've not done this, by the way, so I don't know how straightforward that is, but it seems, this one's actually seemed very easy when you put it up. I literally thought you were just going to go around and exit.
I did.
But they're harder than they look. I'm telling you, if you try one of these out in the real world, you could well end up stuck.
Well, thanks for all your help anyway. I really appreciated the help in the chat.
Well, thanks, Fiona. I hope you all enjoyed that. Some of you are saying that's amazing. I don't know if you're just trying to be funny with amazing, but yes, it was amazing. A bit dizzying as well. So I'll tell you what, we're going to spend the last section doing something completely different. So what we've done a game, we've done a maze. How about a trick?
A trick?
Yes. How about some magic to finish off?
Oh, we like magic.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing. If you can spotlight me, Fiona, just so I'm blown up on the big screen. Now, one of the things I've gotten into during the pandemic, you know, 'cause you got a lot of time in your hands. It's nice to take up little hobbies. And one of the things I've gotten into is card magic. So I've got a pack of cards. And turns out there's thousands and thousands and thousands of amazing card tricks that you can do. And lots of them involve clever movements, you know, really kind of clever sleight of hand. And they're very cool. You spend hours practicing them. They're quite good. But I'm not here to show you that because it turns out that there's also lots of tricks, and I mean hundreds, thousands of tricks that just involve a tiny bit of maths. And what I've kind of discovered along the way is when you have maths on your side, you don't actually need to do a lot of that sleight of hand stuff. You don't need to have dexterity and all that. You just need a bit of logic, a bit of clever thinking, and then it's amazing the things you can do. So in the time we've got left, I'm going to show you one of my favorite card tricks. And what makes it one of my favorite is that you get to fool two people at once. And thankfully I've got two people in front of me. So Fiona and Eileen, welcome to the magic show. I'm going to tilt my screen so you can always see my mat and my cards and my hands at all times. So I don't know if I'm going to try to get some of this stuff out of the way. So, can you see that okay? Or maybe
Yeah, we can see that. That's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Now, I rolled up I'll roll it up a bit more, roll them up so that, you know that I'm not trying to hide anything up my sleeve.
Okay.
What I've done is I've taken a pack of cards, a random pack of cards, and I've just kind of split them into two. So I'm going to work with you one at a time. As I say, I'm going to end up trying to fool you both if I can. Fiona, we'll start with you. Choose a pile.
I'm going to say the what? Yes. Oh no, back. Yep, that one, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Eileen, this one is yours, and I want you to keep your eye on it at all times. Okay, Fiona, this one's yours.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you these cards very briefly. You see those? Just a random set of cards, half the pack.
Yeah.
And tell you what, we'll make it even more random. We'll shuffle them. And I can promise you all, I'm not doing any clever moves. I'm going to show you how this trick works at the end, and you'll be persuaded that you don't need to do any clever moves as long as you've got a bit of maths on your side. So I'm just shuffling them, and you're going to tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, we're going to move Eileen's pile down there, and I'm just going to spread these out. Okay, try to...
Wow, that's clever.
Thank you. And you're going to choose a card. So obviously it's easier to do in person, but we can do it on Zoom. I'm just going to move my finger like this, and you're going to tell me...
Okay, go on. Sorry, stop.
That one there?
That one there, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to gather up your cards. Now, I'm not allowed to see your cards, but obviously I need to hold it up to the camera so that you and everyone else can see. And I just need you all to trust that I'm going to look away. And again, once I explain how this trick works, you're going to realize I don't need to cheat. I don't need to see this right now. I am going to look away. But I also want you all to think about what I might be doing. What kind of maths might I be using? Because it's not actually that complicated once you know. So I'm going to hold up the card to the screen. Can you see that?
Okay. Yep. Brilliant. Don't put anything in the chat, anyone, please.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Do not, even the blue team, do not help me out. And I won't need your help because this is real magic. I'm gonna figure it out all on my own. So Fiona, we've taken your card and we just put it there. Make sure you keep your eye on that because I'm gonna move Eileen now. And so I want you to be happy with your cards. I'm not gonna touch anything for the moment, okay? So Eileen, we come onto your pile. Hi, Eileen.
Hello.
There's your pile. So this is the other half of the pack, okay? Mm-hmm. You can see they're all kind of jumbled up. And again, I'm going to shuffle into the exact same routine that we did with Fiona a moment ago. So in your own time, just tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can get a nice spread going. There they are. So again, just tell me when to stop, and that will be your card.
Go back in the middle. Stop.
That one there?
Yep.
Are you sure?
The same as position as Fiona.
Yes, I want to make sure that you it's a free choice. I don't want you to feel pressured or rushed. So are you sure you want that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So keep your eye on it. I'm gonna just move everything else over here. And Eileen, I'm going to show you the card and everyone else can see it. And again, I want you to trust that I'm going to look away.
Okay.
Have you
Great.
got your card?
Yep, we've seen it.
Okay, so let's just recap what we did. Fiona took about half the pile and chose a card at random, and it's this one here. Then Eileen took the other half of the deck, and she took a card at random, okay? So that's Eileen's card, and that's Fiona's card. And you guys, you'll have your eyes glued on those cards, yeah? So, Fiona, I'm going to take your card, that one there, and I'm going to bury it in Eileen's pile.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, I'm going to put the card in, and it's properly mixed in, and we're going to shuffle it. Not going to
Oh, wow.
any clever movements with this shuffle, and you're just going to tell me when to stop.
I want these well shuffled, please.
Okay, I'll keep going.
And stop.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
now that is Eileen's pile, but Fiona's card's in there. This is Fiona's pile, and Eileen, this is your card. You're going to tell me.
Okay.
Tell me when to stop, and we'll place it in there.
Stop.
Happy with that?
Stop. Yes.
So we're going to place it. I'm not doing any clever movements. Your card is properly buried, but just to make sure, we are going to give it a shuffle. Just tell me when you want me to stop.
Stop.
All right. So let's see where we are now. We have. I need to make sure I get these the right way around. This is your pile, isn't it, Fiona?
It's my pile, yeah.
And it's got Eileen's card. And that's Eileen's pile, and it's got Fiona's card. My job now is to figure out where your cards are. And hopefully you agree that if I do that's an incredibly unlikely thing for me to be able to do. There should be no way that I know where Eileen's card and Fiona's card are, because, well, it was totally random, wasn't it? And they were properly buried. So we'll start with Eileen's card. So Eileen's card's in here, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to lay out these cards. I'll do it this way.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
A little flourish. And let's see. I think I've got Eileen's card. Eileen, was that your
Yeah, that's my card. Yes.
Does everyone else agree? Everyone else is happy with that? So we found Eileen's card. That's 1 out of 2. Maybe I just got lucky. Let's try it again.
Okay.
And Fiona, since you like that little flip.
Are you going to do another flick? Yeah.
I'm going to try. There we are. And let's see. So I'm looking for Fiona's card, and I reckon this is a bit harder, but I reckon it's the 10 of spades.
I thought you were going to go past it then. I thought,
Yeah, I thought I'd lead you on a bit. All right. So does anyone have
Oh.
any idea how I did that? And I
We've
promise
got everyone going, wow, oh my God,
Good.
wow.
I promise you all, there was zero, well, almost zero, practically no sleight of hand, and the simplest piece of mathematics that helped me to do that. Someone says I'm a pro. Thank you. I'm actually not. I'm just an amateur, but we all have to start somewhere. So I want you to actually, we've got about 10 minutes. You're going to help me figure out how I did this trick. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to tell you the one tiny sort of maneuver that I did. And the only maneuver that I did was at the very beginning. When I said I'm going to take half the pile, you probably didn't see that behind, I'd actually already split them into 2. So I already knew what the 2 piles were going to be. Now, I didn't have to memorize the piles or anything like that, but you're going to hopefully help me figure out what's special about these piles. So I'll start with this. I don't remember whether this is yours, Fiona, or yours, Eileen's. I think this is Fiona's pile.
Yeah.
So what do all of these cards have in common? Let's see if you can all tell me in the chat. So look at these cards. We've got the 10 of spades, 4 of spades, 6 of hearts. And I'll just lay them down. Hopefully you can see them all. Just tell me what you think they all have in common.
Someone says numbers.
Yes, that's a good start. Focus on the numbers. Absolutely.
Have a look. Hearts and spades, but I think we got some diamonds there as well.
Clubs.
Right.
So all 4 suits are in there. So it's definitely more to do with the numbers than it is to do with
Yeah.
the suits. And I would say for the moment, ignore the suit card. So ignore Jack, Queen, King. But what do all the others definitely have in common?
We've got numbers, but maybe they can tell me what about the numbers. Ah, someone's just said even numbers.
Are they right? Let me read out the cards because I realized they could be a bit fuzzy on the camera. So 10, 8, 4, 6, 8, 6, 2, 2, 8, 10, 4, 6, 2, 4, 2, 8, 10, 6, 4, 10. What do they all have in common?
Yeah.
They're all even numbers,
Or
right?
even, yeah.
And if that's the pattern, then you would expect Eileen's pile. I'll tell you more about the Jack, Queen, King in a moment, but there's the ace, which is really just a 1. We've got a 9, we've got a 1, a 9, a 3, a 7, a 1, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1, 3, and the 9. What do they all have in common? They're odd numbers, yes. So, be honest, did anyone spot that as I was doing the trick?
We got, they're all spotting it now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always easy after you've seen it. But as we were doing the trick, it's not the kind of thing you naturally look out for. And also, I think one of the things that helps you get away with this is that you kind of confuse matters when you use the Jack, Queen, King. And you got to think, how have I put numbers on them? So the ace is 1. That's simple enough. You can just see kind of one item there. And then with Jack, Queen, King, the numbers go up from 2 to 10, and then you have Jack, Queen, King. So we just treat them as 11, 12, 13. So the Jack is an 11, and it goes in this pile because that's odd. The King is a 13, and that's odd, so that goes in this pile. And that's why the Queen was over here, because the Queen is treated as a 12, so it's even. Here's a question for you all. Firstly, how many cards in a standard deck? How many cards in a standard deck? This is a standard deck, no jokers or anything like that. How many cards altogether? Does anyone know? And just to say, there's 13 different numbers. So ace, 2 to 10, Jack, Queen, King. And there's 4 different suits. Clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. And so, yeah, you're quite right, 52. Some of you are saying 54. If you include the jokers, that's 2 jokers, makes 54. But I've left them out. So it's 52 because that's 13 times 4, right? 13 different numbers, 4 suits for each one. Now, here's your next question. How many cards were there in Fiona's pile? This is the even pile. And how many were there in Eileen's pile, which is the odd pile? So we know there's 52 altogether. I've split them into roughly equal piles. Are they exactly equal? Some of you are saying 26 and 26. Seems to be a very popular answer. Now let's have a think. Look at the even cards. How many different even numbers are there between 1 and 13? We've definitely got the 2. We've got the 4. We've got the 6, the 8, the 10, and the 12, which is a queen. So we've got 6 even numbers out of the 13. How many odd numbers from 1 to 13? So I'll wait for it in the chat. There's 6 even numbers between 1 and 13. How many odd numbers? That must, yeah, there you go, 7. There's 6 even numbers, that must leave 7. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, which is the Jack, 13, which is the King. So there's actually more odd numbers than there are even numbers between 1 and 13. And when you then multiply that up by 4, so there's 6 even numbers and then there's 4 suits. So that actually altogether there's 24 cards in the even pile, 6 times 4. And there's a few more. There's 28 because there's 7 odd numbers and then 4 suits for each one. So there's 28 in the odd pile. And so the point is they're not exactly the same, but they're very close. Because when you split them with odds and evens, you have 6 of one, 7 of the other. That's pretty close. And then when you times by 4, it leaves you with 24 cards and 28. And no one really then thinks, oh, one pile is bigger than the other. You'll generally get away with that. Because remember what I said at the beginning? I said, oh, I'll split them into roughly equal piles. I didn't say I'm going to do exactly equal piles. And so you kind of get away with that. And so we want to come up with different ways, though, to do this trick. Because we used odds and evens. And that's okay. I think it fooled most of you. Because people generally don't look for odds and evens. But some people do, especially if you do this trick on a mathematician. They're always thinking, have you sort of pre-prepared the deck in some way? And they might then notice, actually, they're all even. And then your game is up. So we want to now just see if there's any other ways that we can split the deck. And I'm going to show you one more way. and I'm going to arrange 2 different piles. And I want you to tell me if you can see what I'm doing. How am I splitting these 52 cards into 2 piles? So I put the ace, and I'm only looking at the numbers again. The suits, once again, don't matter so much. We're going to end up with reds and blacks in each one, so that's okay. So I put the ace down there in that pile. I'm going to put the 9 over here. Put the other 9 over here. But I'm going to put the 3 over here. I'll take the king, which is 13, and I'll put that. Oh no, I've made a mistake there. The 9 should go with the ace. The 9 should go with the ace. The 3 should go over here. The king is a 13, and that goes with the 3. The 5 also goes with the 3. So I'm definitely not doing it by odds and evens, because so far they've actually all been odds, and they've gone into 2 different piles. So what am I doing to arrange these 2 piles? Here's the jack. I'll put that over here. Remember, that's an 11. So the 11 goes over here. So we've got 3, 13, 5, and 11. And here we've got 1, 9, 9. There's the other 9. There's an 11. There's a 5. There's a 7. It goes in that pile. Here's a 4. And the 4 goes over here. Here's a 2. And the 2 goes in the other pile. So 2 goes over here. 4 goes over here. 10 goes over here. 4 goes over here. Yeah, we're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. But see if you can spot what I'm doing. There's a very simple thing that I'm looking at with these numbers. Very simple property that they have. And then I'm deciding which of the 2 piles they go in. So the 11 is going to go here. The 13 is going to go here. But the 1 is going to go here. 13 goes over here. Someone has said what I think are the magic words, prime and composite. So, prime numbers, what are they? We've only got 2 minutes, so we're going to do this the quick way. The prime numbers are the ones that you can't divide into any smaller parts. And we usually don't include 1 as a prime. So we put all of the ones that are not primes, the composites, the ones that are that can be multiplied with smaller numbers in this pile. So 9 is a composite. 10 is definitely composite. In fact, all the even numbers except for 2 are going to go in here. But 2 itself is a prime number, and that's why it goes over here. 4 is not a prime, so it goes over here. And this is absolutely what I'm doing. I'm dividing them, I'm organizing them based on whether or not they're prime. And one of the great things about doing that is, again, when you count them up, you're going to see that between 1 and 13, there are 6, I think there are 6 primes and 7 composites. So again, you get a roughly even split. You're going to end up with, 24 primes and 28 composites. Almost done. There. Yeah, so this pile's a bit bigger. That's all the composites. This one's a bit smaller. So you can look at the numbers as whether they're prime or not. And again, when you show this to someone, now they'd have to be really mathematical and really attentive to say, oh my gosh, they're all prime numbers. They're almost never going to say that. They're just not focused on that. And so I think that's a slightly better way to do the trick, because it's a lot less obvious that you've organized the decks. And in the puzzle sheet, there's a video that you can watch where we go through this in a bit more detail. And then you can start thinking about other ways that you want to organize your deck. And the goal is to make sure that it's obvious to you so that you can easily spot the odd one out at the end. So when Fiona put her card in Eileen's pile, it was very easy for me. I just took the even card among all the odds. And when Eileen put hers in Fiona's pile, I just took the odd card among all the evens. And I could repeat that trick now with primes and non-primes. And you might just want to think about other ways to organize the deck. We're going to leave you with that. In fact, we're going to leave you with a whole puzzle sheet. So you're going to get an email after this webinar, and you're going to have a nice, colorful puzzle sheet. And it'll all be based on the 3 things that we did today. I know it feels like we've probably been here forever. And can you believe in the same session, we've learned how to play sim, and you've got that question, is it possible for it to end in a draw? We've done mazes. Fiona was truly, literally amazing. And we still haven't figured out how to navigate the way out of the second one. And we've just done a card trick, which might inspire you to come up with your own versions. I hope it does. So do look at that puzzle sheet. I think you can have hours of fun with it. And most of all, thank you so much for taking the time. It's been an absolute joy for us to spend this hour sharing some of our favorite maths. We're going to do this again at some point, I'm sure. So thank you very much. Fiona, Eileen, you want to quickly say bye?
Yeah, bye. Thank you so much for your help. So brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Keep working hard, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much.